Components finally are on production on Bricks Builders 2.0. So on this video, I will show you 3 ideas to do components on Bricks Builder. Okay, let's do it. Before, remember, if you want contact with me and access to our services as white label developers of WordPress sites, you can do directly on EtchWP.com and we can start to build your next project. If you are a marketing agency or a developer that need extra hands to develop your sites, you can contact with us and start working as white label for you. This means that you will put your brand and we, as magical hands, we will write and develop your site on WordPress and you can deliver this project as your own. So without commitment, we can start to talk each other and see if we can work together. Let's check etchwp.com and start build. Okay. Let's start with the video. Okay, what are components on Bricks Builder or in your favorite builder tool? Components are a feature from Bricks Builder that allow you to do reusable element in your development. Okay, this has 3 points to understand before I start the video, and is that you can do reusable element to reuse and put in the rest of your website. You can do DOM changes, so this means that you can change the HTML elements, not only the styles like we do on class system with custom CSS. And you will have scalability and a design system on your project to develop smarter and build and do a scalable website to do changes faster. This means that when you are on the, for example, 70% of your website built, if the customer want change something, you will do directly on one component and this will reflect on the rest of the website. For example, if you want change something on the HTML of the button, you will do one time and this will reflect on the rest of the website. But this makes more sense if you change the HTML of the button. If you want to change the style, you can do with the class, obviously. So let's discover these 3 examples that I have for you prepared to inspire you and you can reuse and use this for your next project. Okay. The first example that I want to show you is the button. Okay, the button is the classic element that you will use a lot of time on your project and maybe has some changes on the future, and the buttons trends to change the way or the colors of or have some variation on his HTML. Okay, let's start. Okay, the first example that I will show you is the button. Okay, we will develop a custom component on the button. Okay, how we'll do that? Well, I have this utility class now put with ACCS button primary that to give some styles before, and I will do this as a component. Okay, I will do this normal button that has this class. With right click, I will save this as a component. Okay, the first thing that Bricks will ask and question us is how we will create and call this button, okay, this component. So the first thing that I will put is a name button primary to have a better order, and I will save this on, I like save this on his own category. It will be button, and here we can drop all the buttons variation that will have it. For example, button primary, button secondary, tertiary, or whatever you want. Okay, so let's create without description, no matters. So we are now here on the structure. Okay, so let's save that, and I will show you something that happened when we save that, and is that when we want to add a component, we have this here on our buttons component. Also, we have this as a test, but not matter on this example. We have this button primary. So If you want to edit a button, you can go here directly to the button, or go to the component tab and edit directly from here, from edit component, this tool icon. So we are now on this component editing, and you will see that this violet or purple, the color when you are on component. If we move out, this is not more violet or purple, and now it's purple again. Okay, so let's start editing the component. The first thing that we need to do to be a real component is create the properties of this component. These properties will be the thing that you can change the HTML later when you are adding new components. Okay, so to do that, we need to go to here and connect properties. Here you will see that you don't have any properties, so need create one and later connect it. Okay, so let's create one, and this will be called label. Okay, this will be a group no matter, and this will be, for example, call to action. This default is the label that will show you by default on your button when you add a new one. Okay, great, and you will see that it's not linked now, still not linked, so we need link now. Clicking here. Okay, now it's linked. If you see that it's purple, this option, it's because it's linked. If it's not linked, you will see that it's still have the capability to edit the label. So we need connect the property, right? So if you see when we add a new button, okay, button primary, you will see that you have the label to change. You will see that have the call to action default label, and we will change to, for example, contact with, as example. Okay, we have our button, we have our label, and let's add the new properties here to continue with the example. So the first thing that we need to do is connect a property link, create a property. This will be a link property, right? Because Bricks by default, if you mark here, it will pre-select to your element that it's more accord to that you selected before. So will be select a link, and the name will be links. The default links, I like put a hashtag to have the button converted on link, because if you don't have any link, you will see that your button is an span on your front end and no will have the same style that a button or a link. Okay, so we will put this like here, create, and we'll connect the properties. And the last thing that they want to add is an icon, okay? Because in our design, we will have buttons variables, and or I don't know, maybe on the future, we will have icons variables, and we will make sure that has this variation. But now, if we don't have icons in our design, it's not needed that we register here as a property. But if in the future we have, it's good to have a component to on the future add this property. Okay, right? You got it? Okay, let's add the icon property. This will pre-select the icon property. If it's not that, maybe you have a previous version of Bricks, or you will need to select the icon property. The default icon will be, for example, no default to not add any one of them before. So now if we see the button that we have here, we have the capability to add our label, contact us. Okay, we'll put the URL, HTTP or contact, for example, or we can add internal post. Okay, nothing, whatever you want, and we can add this. Okay, also we can add area label. For example, if it's a button without context, we can add, I don't know, or if it's a button to open an accordion, open accordion, for example, or whatever you want, or a title, open new tab, or whatever you want to put on your attribute element. The next thing that you can add is the icon. Okay, we can add icons from here, and it's good to have a pre-select by default to not need to search them. So let's add an arrow here. Okay, and we have this icon working. Okay, now we have our button. I will do a masterclass about how to optimize Bricks Builder and how to do a good web performance optimization on Bricks Builder. I have 2 years doing this for the company that I worked, and I want to do this masterclass. So if you want to do this masterclass premium, you can do it from this link I will drop on the comments and on the description, and you can buy with this special discount that we have it now on the pre-launch offer. So this is the lowest price that we'll have this masterclass. So if you want grab this product and buy this masterclass, you can do it now. Continue with the video. And what's happening if we want to add a new button, for example here, and add a button primary here to this container. Okay, oh, this one, so we go here now to here. Okay, let's move to here, and this will be a contact us to, no matter, but will be without any icon. Okay, so this is the good thing to manage the button as component, because you will decide what you want to do. Also, if you want register a button secondary, I do this on my developments, you can do it tertiary, and as I explained before, you can do it with whatever you want. The next thing that I usually use as component is the breadcrumbs. Okay, the breadcrumbs, whatever breadcrumbs you have it. For example, if you work with the breadcrumbs from bricks, you can do it. But usually on the project that I work, I use the breadcrumbs shortcode from rank math. Okay, you can do it here and register the component. Okay, breadcrumbs, or you can do it with your shortcode. Okay, here, and you can add, for example, a shortcode and a wrapper for your shortcode from rank math. For example, I will not register the shortcode from rank math now, but for this example it will be good. For example, short breadcrumbs, I will call that. I will delete this one, and this will be shortcode bread, like that. And I will use I will create the BEM classes for that, breadcrumbs, and breadcrumbs shortcode. It doesn't have active the BEM automatically from automatic CCS. I have to do manually. So this will be our shortcode breadcrumbs. Okay, and this will put your shortcode from rank math right now, and you can create the component breadcrumb rank math. This is good for adding in the different pages that you want to add these breadcrumbs. Okay, for example, I did this before for WooCommerce store, that we want put these breadcrumbs on the products and the categories and store pages, but not sometimes on different pages that not make sense have these breadcrumbs. Okay, so the next thing is the team member cards, or what card you want to add. So this you can do it from here. If you want work with ACF, for example, you can do it. And you like works more on Bricks Builder interface, you can do with components, and will be scalable, and you will maintain better that. Okay, So if you want to do that, you need to register the car team member as a component, okay? Now, on this structure, we have a grid structure called team grid as a UL, and later we have the LI to have a good semantic, the card wrapper, and later we have the div, the article of the current team to have also a good semantic. Okay, so what we need to register as a card team member, the right answer is this card wrapper. If you have this, should be this card team member, but on this case we have this card wrapper. Okay, so you need add this save component as card wrapper or card team, for example, where we create the component, right? We have this structure, and we will go to edit and link the different component elements. Okay, so this you can do. You can connect the property, right? Okay, we can connect the properties, and we can do and select, for example, if you want select as default image by default, for example, this one, the WooCommerce placeholder, we can do it. And when you add a new image, this will have the placeholder. Okay, we will connect the properties here, and also we want to add the name as a property. Okay, the property will be added as a text. Okay, name, like that. Okay, h3 it's okay, and the link is no, we don't need links for the moment, and the show title. Okay, well, let's go to add a create new one, job title. Okay, so now it's linked. So now we have this thing created. Okay, we have this card member team created, and when we will create new ones, we will have this added to the builder. Okay, so let's add some dummy content. John Smith, seal, and this one will be Rosa Montero, I don't know, and founder, for example. And this is already done. So the last thing that I want to show you that is, if you don't want to manage this team as a template, you can also create a component, okay? And will be team section, for example. And we'll put as a section, like that. And also with the last update from Bricks 2.0, you have the capability to add nestables components inside Bricks Builder, okay? So if we want to add new teams, let's add a component, for example, team section. You will have this team section, okay? But you must add and edit the components area to change some stuff from here, okay? And it's all that you need to know, that these components you can't edit from here, right? You can edit the thing that you will decide to edit. Know the component nested, because the component nested suppose that you have defined it, okay? And you will edit from another party. But if you want change this team section, you can edit the component from here and change the content, contact us team member, for example, and this will be repeat on all your team members component. All right, so if you want to change that and link like the title of that heading team member heading, for example, you can do it and edit from here. Okay, now it's undefined because it doesn't have anything. and heading, and now it's completely a component area. I like do the sections maybe with template to not have a lot of components created, but if you want, you have the capability. Okay, let's see on the next video. Bye bye.